mid-time break right now. Let me put it. Sorry, Nigerians, it is sad, but they are on mid-time break.
My colleague, Ayo.
Yes.
He has a few questions.
Go ahead, please.
Go ahead, Ayo.
Well, thank you, Kayla. It's very interesting to listen to some of the things that you have said. And I'm just wondering, if you have all this information, you have all these relationships, I'm wondering where you think the place of security agencies is in all of this. Because governors have said it over and over again that these terrorists are not ghosts, they are not spirits, they are human beings. They have said repeatedly that we know these people. And you are confirming it now that these people are known. Now, if you know and have all of this information, when is it all going to come to an end? Because from the information coming up from even the Borno state government, they are saying that insecurity is going to reverse the successes that the state has scored in education. And you're saying now that insecurity is not looking like it is going to end. So wouldn't it be, those who are listening to you now will wonder why you're not giving all of this intelligence information to security agencies so that all of this nonsense can stop once and for all?
All right. Thank you very much for your question, I think, Ella. Look, let me just make things very clear. I like going straight to the point. I don't have anything to hide. Reality is here. Now, you said the state government said something about reversing their policies and all that. Who were the ones who negotiated with them? Who received those ransoms and cut out part of those ransoms and all? The security agencies are doing their best, but we have state politicians doing everything possible to make sure they make business out of it. You know, and all. Now, talking about we know some of these people give security agencies, let me make something clear to Nigerians. Senator Alidume has been blocking me from talking to everybody, NSA, DSS, early times before there was even a video. I communicated with him. He blocked me from talking to Nuhu Ribadu. He blocked me from communicating with Nigerian army. Do you want me to go to them? I am an independent individual and I run an organization. The government is supposed to come to me if they need anything like that. I started Operation Sulhu de Zaman Lafia. Borno State government and Senator Alidume are doing everything possible to block it from coming to to reality. If the federal government wanted to get the truth, they cannot be working through the state government directly. They should, in fact, bring in private individuals that can give them a parallel report. Then they investigate. If not, the business would want to continue. Now, Boko Haram is on 40 days break. If they want to argue, let them argue. Then I will release an evidence to that. They know and I know. There's nothing to hide. So if they are on 40 days break, people will feel like, oh, wow, some people are working, something is happening. But if they are able to mediate and tell them to hold on for 40 days, to hold on for 30 days, then continue.
Text, is he saying what he's saying? Now, we haven't gotten a rebuttal from the Nigerian Intelligence Agency, that's the NIA. We haven't gotten a rebuttal from the Nigerian Army. We also haven't gotten a rebuttal from the DSS. And when I mean a rebuttal, a response to either contradict, distance themselves from what he said. The only thing we know so far is that by the following day, they took this man into custody, initially kept him for hours on, interrogate him, denied him access, or let's not say denied per se, but more like when his lawyer came in to at least represent his client and tell him on what angles or what he needs to respond to or not respond to, or guide him in his responses during the interrogation. The lawyer couldn't access his client, the last time. Omoyele Sowore had to actually talk about this in one of his press interviews. So the big question is, where are we at? If the Nigerian government has begged us to please cooperate with them, work with them in spreading the good news, our military and security agencies are doing all they can to ensure that Nigeria is stable, to protect us internally, and ensure that these elements of darkness who have planned to destroy and truncate the supposed, let's say, thin level of peace that we seem to be enjoying and going about our activities. How come we're hearing what we're hearing? Are there political elites currently in this government who are either 7 senators, 7 House of Rep members, or even 7 governors deliberately doing this? Question is, to what end? If you have most of the governors and most of the senators in the current All Progressives Congress, a party that the president also belonged to, why would you be involved in trying to destabilize the polity? What exactly is your agenda? What what is your gain? Or is there a grand scheme that Nigerians know but are afraid to say, or there's a grand scheme that security agencies know or are afraid to say? The help from the United States of America, was it Nigerians in diaspora who really wrote and called out the American government to please force the hand of the government of the day to focus and face this? Or was this a means through which Tinubu wanted that international support to brazenly go about, eliminating these guys and bringing them out? Because we have heard talks about him supposedly being afraid of these individuals despite being aware of what is going on. Well, a lot is actually taking place. My analyst this evening will help us to discuss that. Now, Atiku Abubakar, we already know, hired a lobbying firm, and the job is to ensure that he's clean or whitewashed or somehow put on a white sheet of paper in the presence of the US while focusing on his opponent, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Some Nigerians have said, yes, he's doing what opposition is supposed to do. Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the APC did that against Jonathan way back in 2012/2015 before they came into power. And so he's doing the right thing. He's doing what needs to be done. But the presidency has come to react by saying, Atiku, why do you want to destabilize your government? Why do you want foreign intervention in your domestic politics? You're just trying to create a sense of destabilization. What you're doing is wrong. But Atiku doesn't care and he doesn't mind. And one of the lobbies that Atiku Abubakar actually got to help him push that agenda in the United States of America and also in Congress actually disclosed very recently. His name is Von Barton Montague York, and he described the president as a threat to the stability of Nigeria and the United States' interests. Is that true? Our analysts will help us buttress what this means. We thought that with the president working with the US, with the alleged letter brought displayed by Mr. Bayo Nanaga, whether it's real or not, that they've been able to collaborate and work together. So how is Tinubu's relationship, or how is Tinubu's disposition a threat to America's interests and to destabilize Nigeria? We're going to get the response in there. They made allegations while reacting to the motion by US Congressman John James. I'm going to play that audio for you very soon, who reportedly said that tens of thousands of Nigerians have been slaughtered by terrorists, ignored or enabled by the Nigerian government. I'm sure you heard about what happened with Reverend Dachomo. Some of his close kin and relatives were recently murdered by the Fulani ethnic militia. He actually saw this coming. He had talked about it. He has even been expecting that they will come for him and said that his life is actually at stake, but he doesn't mind so long as the Christian genocide stops. Well, in a statement, the lobbying firm, which was retained by Atiku under a 12-month, $1.2 million contract, that's some huge money, man, thanked the congressman for raising the issue on the floor of the United States Congress. It noted that members of Congress were increasingly speaking out against the Tinubu administration. So according to him, he went ahead to disclose, however, that they're taking action, speaking out against official bad and the learning of his alleged corruption, drug trafficking, disregard for rule of law and order, tampering with the judiciary in an attempt to keep political opposition like the ADC, Nigeria NJ from the upcoming Nigerian presidential election, and that the list goes on. In the same vein, Nnamdikanu's name was also mentioned, and asking that the Nigerian government release him as soon as possible. Why would he be imprisoned for saying the truth exactly with what is going on concerning insecurity in Nigeria? We're going to take a very close listen to him. Now, if you recall, on the very day that Nnamdikanu was sentenced to life in prison, the following day, or was it a day before that sentencing, Congress sat. That was when they were discussing the proposed Christian genocide, and immediately Nnamdikanu was sentenced. The following day, they sat down. This particular House of Rep member, James, called out Tinubu's administration and talked about Nnamdikanu being sentenced to life imprisonment. That was the first time. The second time, again, when Congress recently sat, he called out President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and disclosing that Trump should, as much as possible, enable the release of Nnamdikanu. So let's take a listen to this very quickly.
By the former chairman of the Africa Subcommittee, who is now over at the Energy and Commerce Committee, John James, and I want to thank him. February of 2024, he had a very important hearing on Nigeria and other advocacy throughout that time. So the floor is yours.
Mr. Chairman, thank you so much for your personal invitation, for your leadership, and for your friendship. I'm honored to be back. Psalms 96:14 asks, "Who will rise up for me against the wicked? Who will take a stand for me against evildoers?" Nigeria is facing one of the gravest religious freedom crises in the world. As the former chairman of the House Foreign Affairs Committee on Africa, I have visited and have seen firsthand the direness of the conditions in what is now the deadliest place on earth to be a Christian. They are targeted, displaced, and killed simply for their faith. The ancient plea, "Is there no help for the widow's son?" still echoes today. Since 2019, nearly 17,000 Christians have been killed. In the first 7 months of this year alone, hundreds more were murdered. On June 13th, during the Yellowwater massacre, more than 280 Christians were slaughtered in a single day. These are not isolated tragedies, but a sustained pattern of religiously motivated violence, often ignored or even enabled by the Nigerian government. Extremist groups like Boko Haram, Fulani militants, and ISIS West Africa attack often without any meaningful intervention from authorities. The lack of response has created an atmosphere of impunity where Christians continue to live in constant threat and fear. The United States has previously recognized this crisis. President Trump not only designated Nigeria as a country of particular concern during his first term, but redesignated it again in his second term after President Biden inexplicably removed that designation. Religious persecution is tied to political repression and weakening institutions in Nigeria. Example, the detention of Mazi Nnamdikanu is a clear example. In 2022, Nigeria's Court of Appeal struck down the charges against him and ordered his release. The UN Working Group on Arbitrary Detention has also called for his unconditional release. Yet he remains in solitary confinement, in deteriorating health, and recently had to represent himself in court. Nigeria has signaled that the law is optional and targeting Christians is fair game. Just hours ago this morning, despite the pleas and cries of the Nigerian people and many Nigerian lawmakers, Mazi Nnamdikanu was convicted on all charges. For fiscal year 2025, the U.S. has requested nearly $8 billion for sub-Saharan Africa. But when Americans see political prisoners, judicial defiance, and the slaughter of Christians, they understandably ask as they meet their own struggles, why should our tax dollars support governments that refuse to protect their own people? Is our aid aiding a genocide? Nigeria is a nation of tremendous potential, but that potential is being choked out by violent persecution of its Christian population. No country can build a stable future where churches are burned, believers are killed, and communities live in fear. The United States must stay engaged, and Nigeria must change course now. Nigeria is the deadliest place on earth to be a Christian today. Since 2019, tens of thousands of Christians in Nigeria have been slaughtered as part of a sustained pattern of religiously motivated violence by Islamist jihadis ignored or enabled by the Nigerian government. Extremist groups like Boko Haram are allowed to operate without any meaningful response from authorities. A courageous leader named Mazi Nnamdikanu was convicted in a farce show trial for speaking out about what's happening. He's currently serving a life sentence in prison, convicted on false terrorism charges. I implore my colleagues to support my bill, HRES 1321, calling on the Nigerian government to conduct another trial in accordance with its own constitution based on evidence, with access to legal counsel, medical care, and international law pertaining to humane conditions of detention, or, better yet, release Mazi Nnamdikanu immediately and unconditionally. America gives billions to Nigeria. We will not continue to fund a Christian genocide. We have the moral obligation to stand up so our Christian brothers and sisters can worship the Lord our God in peace. With that, Mr. Speaker, I yield.
All right, that was basically it. And all of the submissions are being given to Trump. But the big question is this: why does the U.S. comment or validation or whatever seem to be something of import in this part of the world? Both the current government of the day and Nigerians actually somehow solicit for some kind of pat in the back comments or whatever from the U.S. President, Mr. Donald Trump. But is he going to make any difference whatsoever if he decides to directly interfere in our local politics? Will it change anything? I mean, I'm just asking the basic question. But hey, we're going to be talking about that in the course of the conversation this evening with Barrister Fred Nzako. He's going to be my analyst this evening, so kindly just hold on, okay? I have a premise, I have where I'm heading to. Now, I don't know if you guys saw a video that went viral across social media. I'm talking about Facebook, Twitter, that is now X, and other platforms, which has elicited conversations across several forums by Nigerians. A particular police officer, though it's not the first time we've seen a policeman harass young persons, extort from them and all, but the reason why this garnered this kind of attention is because of the state police bill. Like, if this institution is bedeviled with corruption, is bedeviled with a lack of professional ethics and conducting their duty, how will the implementation of the state police be? How would it work? And obviously, if there's some kind of segmentation or tribalism or sensationalism within the Nigerian police, how then will they take up their duty objectively when having to address or deal with Nigerians? A very big conversation, to be honest with you. And so obviously this is basically what has set the polity, let's not say ablaze, but literally everyone is agog and abuzz with that. Now, a particular reverend father or Catholic priest, Father Angelo Chidi Unebu, is claiming that Igbos deny their identity in Nigeria due to hatred and intimidation from other tribes. For example, this particular police officer accosted a passerby or a passenger, a vehicle owner, somebody driving on that expressway heading towards Akure. Now, he asked this man for his vehicle documentation, if the vehicle was properly documented, his papers, identity, everything, including his driver's license, which this man gave to him, and he was checking it. He asked him a question where he was coming from. The man said he's coming from the UK and he's heading towards, Akure and all of that. He asked him what for, is it for work or whatever, and all of those responses were given to that particular police officer. So he asked for something and the man said, oh, sorry, I really don't have anything for you, maybe another time or something. And the man said, you should be lucky yourself that you are not Igbo or any other person. You may have been detained or taken to the police custody. And the man said, why? And then the police officer gave him the paper, but kept his driver's license and put it in his pocket and was, going forward, just going along. And the man said, what about my driver's license? The man said, go and park somewhere. And the man said, park where? The police officer said, park there. He said, what did I do? Why are you going away with my driver's license? What exactly did I do? Now, the statement made by that police officer on that expressway by saying that you're lucky, if you were Igbo, it would have been something else. So the big question is, why would you make such a comment to a Nigerian? Precisely. So you're saying if that man's tribe was from the southeast or for the Igbo, even if the person has all his documentations, papers and everything, you wouldn't care, you would have detained him to extort him, which brought the conversation about the militarization and the heavy military presence along the corridors in the southeast. And now there have been complaints by inter-society, comprehensive reports of the level of extortion carried out by military and police personnel along that corridor from some young persons who are traveling down to their different locations in the southeast. The extortion is so enormous to the point that in some instances, if you do not give them that money, you'll be immediately labeled as an IPOB member, and before you know, you may even be murdered and killed and your body deposited in an unknown location. And if anybody asks or whatever, they will just claim that you were IPOB. No documentation to present, no evidence whatsoever to present. So people plying that corridor just pay to avoid any of those things, or somebody harassing you, delaying you, or keeping you somewhere until it's very late. So the big question is, where are we heading? And why would you want some people to be afraid of identifying where they come from? I will confess to you, I went on Twitter and I tweeted, I said, I'm really scared because I'm an Igbo lady, and I'm really scared if this is what we have devolved to. Do I need to change my name or my surname to a Fulani name or another tribe that is wholesomely acceptable by Nigerians, just so that I can feel safe and go about my businesses? I got responses from other persons by saying, this is what they want, you're being a coward, and all of those statements. But you don't understand if you've not been put in such a position where just because of where you come from, you've already been immediately profiled. In some instances, justice is not given to you. So is it politics that brought us to this point? Or are we going through the civil war, but this time again in a different manner? It's a very important conversation and we need to talk about it, and the healing needs to be done now if we consider ourselves Nigerians. It's a very big deal if you do not understand. understand. And so this father was saying that we need to understand where we're heading, and also trying to assuage and encourage those from the Southeast to not be afraid or ashamed of their identity, to remain strong and be proud of where they come from, being the fact that they're all used to this, that they will always survive and stay strong. So in that regard, rather than being able to apprehend a terrorist, would you have profiled that person's ethnicity before even trying to investigate who the person is? Or what if that person is a terrorist from a different ethnic group, and then you just let them go just because they're not from a region that you have sentiment towards? So this obviously set the polity agog, and the conversation about professionalism within the Nigerian police and how they intend to go ahead with the state police if we're already experiencing this, how they'll be used for political reasons. It's a very huge deal in this regard. My analyst this evening is Barrister Fred Nzako, who is a political, national and social affairs commentator. Barrister Fred Nzako will be responding to some of these questions this evening on the Evening Rush. It's quite imperative that we discuss some of these issues and obviously have a headway towards ensuring that Nigeria has a proper trajectory in their destination. In the meantime, we're currently streaming live on YouTube, so it's at VOP 903 FM, at VOP 903 FM on YouTube. Barrister Fred Nzako, good evening, and thank you for joining us today on the Evening Rush. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Good evening.
How are you, sir?
Very well.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Yes, Barrister, it's a Friday and we had quite a lot of issues to discuss. We'll get into that. But Barrister Fred Nzako, let's look at the political climate and how it will affect the upcoming elections in 2027. For example, there are talks that the political climate is what has caused more division than cohesion and unity in the country. Is that true?
The political climate is what?
The current political climate, which a couple of persons consider toxic or acidic, is what has kept us in this conundrum where instead of issues being looked into objectively, what is considered before anything else is where you come from, or your region precisely. In related to a particular video that went viral on social media, which has set the polity agog. Did you watch that particular video that went viral?
Yes, I watched the video, and it's a very terrible one that people will still be thinking, behaving, and talking in that manner. And this day and age, when the whole world is fusing together, it's a global village, you expect that Nigeria will be making efforts towards unity and coming together as one people under one nation. But the more you expect the country to fuse, the more the forces that tear the country apart rear their ugly heads, and it gets more worrisome when such discordant narratives, when such separative narratives come from people who are officers of the law, people who are expected to be the vanguard of security and protection of lives and properties of the people. And with the viral nature of that video and the utter condemnation it has received, we expect and hope that the authorities of the police force would pull those men out and ask them very critical questions. And of course, if that is their mindset, they don't deserve to be in the police force. Because for all intents and purposes, the police organization is expected and supposed to be not just impartial, but passionate about respect for human rights and respect for civility. I'm passionate about the respect for dignity of the citizens that they are expected to protect. And that attitude of that policeman, as careless and as reckless as it looked, deserves to be very seriously addressed by the authorities. And the politicians themselves, who are the ones spewing the terrible, dangerous narratives. We lack the grounds to query others who fall under the bus in that kind of infamy. Because you recall several instances of politicians trying to undermine the unity of the country. Not just politicians, even traditional rulers. I remember one statement by Honorable of Lagos when he threatened to push the section of the people into the lagoon. I think it was the Igbos. And I remember where the First Lady of Nigeria in a viral video then.
In 2019.
In 2019, made them insinuations that undermine the unity of the country and the integrity of the people. And you can also remember the dot in the circle made by President Muhammad Buhari. So if such high-ranking state people who are supposed to be statesmen and women, high-ranking officials of government at the corridors of power, could make such incendiary statements that undermine the unity and oneness of the country, then like the old saying that when the father of the house is reckless, the children become something else. So if the leaders of the country, as high as the presidency and other top leaders or top traditional rulers of the country, could be making such derogatory, tribalistic, ethnic-based hate and sentimental speeches, then the average policeman on the street would feel that that is the norm, even when ordinarily the policeman should know that what he was saying was very reckless and very, very unacceptable. So I think that time has come for Nigeria to begin to work towards unity of the country, such that that old age-long narrative of the country being a mere geographical expression would be abandoned, because we can't continue after 66 years of independence. We can't continue to still remain a mere geographical expression. With all the experiences that we've had as a country, once expected that we should begin to fuse as a nation, because even though we have so many tribes and so many tongues and languages, but we are not the highest in the country. I mean, in the world. We are not the highest in the world. I think Nigeria is about the fourth or the fifth country with the highest number of tribal tongues. But if the others can find a way of harnessing their diversity to become, to unify themselves even in diversity, if they can harness their diversity to strengthen themselves, there's nothing wrong with Nigeria becoming strong. We call it unity in diversity, by understanding ourselves, tolerating one another, and ensuring that the greatest cardinal law is the love for your neighbor as you love yourself.
Wow, Barrister Fred, very good one. Now let's look at this from time immemorial. Let's just say from when Nigeria decided to play politics in a democratic setting. There have been talks that those from the Southeast don't know how to play this politics. In fact, this kind of conversation emerged after the 2023 general elections, that they do not know how to align or be diplomatic. To our kind of politics that we do here is very different. It's strategic. You need to do what you call strategic alignment, strategic connections, kind of be a national representation across all the 6 geopolitical zones, where you're known, where there is no fear about intentions and all of that. And that has always been the bane for those from the Southeast. And some persons will say that that's the reason why they don't understand the concept of politicking in Nigeria. And then the big question is, what is the concept of politicking, or how does it go? I mean, should one do something that they're not akin to, they do not understand, or is not even considered normal for you to be accepted generally by everyone? Most of the issues that transpired in the past, most persons currently in government were not really active in it. They were little at the time. So why Why should the issues of the past be a bane or be an obstacle to anyone who has an ambition, specifically from the Southeast? That's one aspect of the conversation. Number two, there are talks that Southeastern leaders have not really represented the region so well. They've been all about their personal interests, their purses, their bellies, and their pockets, which has left the Southeast vulnerable. And so when it comes to politicking, they're not really considered majorly, all right, in terms of alignment or in terms of whatever input they desire or whatever it is they intend to be part of. So how are we playing it now that is not the right way to play it? Where did that misalignment come from?
The critical question you have asked is very germane, and that is, you asked, what is the concept of politics? That question, once you answer that question, you have answered all the issues relating to other ancillary questions that go with it. What is the concept of politics? What is politics? Politics is a process of selection of leadership. Selection in quote. That process may involve appointment, it may involve election, it may involve any way and manner whereby some people are thrown up to lead the others. And that leadership involves trust and confidence of the people. Because as human beings, we are expected to live in organized setting whereby not everybody will be able to do the same thing. But some people, or one or two people, will be elected to do one or two things on behalf of the rest. And in the process, they will be accountable to the people for whom they are serving and for whom they have earned that mandate and authority to lead. That is essentially politics. And when you now begin to talk about political economy, you now dive into or bring it to the realm of allocation of scarce resources through political means. How do you allocate resources? How do you determine who gets what through political means? Now you begin to look at political administration, you look at political economy, you look at the socio-political issues in any country or in any environment. Now, sociologists and scholars have identified the fact that in any political activity where those who are expected or elected to lead or serve the people begin to serve themselves, then politics has broken down. The whole concept of politics is no longer what it is expected to be. Now, what do we have in Nigeria? Do we have politics for altruistic purposes, which is for the service of the people, or do we play politics for personal aggrandizement, for the service of self and cronies? Experience has shown that the model and pattern of politics we play in Nigeria is the latter type that is essentially aimed at cronyism, nepotism, selfishness, and the settlement of self and cronies. And that is why the concept of nepotism has gone so high that even the basic principle of recognition of a federal character has been thrown to the dust. Today, the politics we play in Nigeria is no longer that of altruism or service-oriented politics, but that of me, myself, and I, whereby once you settle yourself, settle your family down to the 10th generation that you cannot even imagine, then settle your people who you feel are your people without knowing that the person you call your people or your person you call your person because he is your tribal man may not eventually be your person. If you look at the parable of the Good Samaritan in the Holy Book, the Holy Bible, simply tells you that the man who is from your tribe but who has no love for you is not your person. And then who should you protect? You should protect everybody that come under the jurisdiction of your authority. Now, when you say the Igbos don't know how to play Nigerian politics, it is simply because they have not learned to play tribal and ethnic politics. Chief Nnamdikanu, God bless his soul, was accused of being nationalistic when the men of his time, Chief Obafemi Awolowo and Chief Ahmadu Bello, the Southern of Sokoto, were more interested in protecting their people as premiers of their regions. They were more interested in playing tribal politics. They were more interested in serving their people. And Nnamdikanu was seen and looked at as not being politically savvy enough to play Nigerian politics. But Zik himself was more interested in one Nigerian pattern. When he said we should forget our differences and fuse a nation with unity, Ahmadu Bello told him that we shouldn't forget our differences. We should understand them and then protect their people. When the agitation for independence was at its peak, as a matter of fact, Ahmadu Bello was very clear by saying that they were not ready for independence. And even the urge to secede from the Nigeria that they were trying to package then, the first urge came from the north. But the British, that were the colonial masters, tried to package Nigeria and deliver the Nigeria that has never worked. A Nigeria that was economically and politically structured to serve the interests of Britain. And it had become so up to today. Now, with benefit of hindsight and with the knowledge that we have, shouldn't our people, the current leaders, sit back and take the right steps towards fusing the country into a united entity that will be filled with justice, fairness, and equity? And I can tell you that there is no country in the world where there is massive and crass injustice as we have in Nigeria that will make progress. So Nigeria is the one holding herself down. Nigerian leaders are the ones holding down Nigeria by unbridled injustice that we see that keeps growing in leaps and bounds. And that injustice is vetted on Nigerian people even from the cradle, right from the cradle. Start from the issue of unity school at the primary school. Go to the issue of the so-called government colleges. Go to the issue of employment. Go to government agencies and establishments. Who do you see? Today, the complaint is that once you are in power, the language of the office will change to your mother tongue. And we see it, and we think it doesn't matter. And that is why you don't have a national ethos. There is nothing like value orientation in Nigeria. And that is why you have over 230 million people with very few citizens. Who is a citizen of Nigeria? Yes, you have champions, ethnic, tribal champions, but you have very, very few people who are Nigerians in Nigeria. And that is why at every turn and at every twist, you see people who are making efforts to grab it, take it, and run away with it. Where do they run to? They run to their enclave. When they grab it at the center, they run away with it towards their enclave. And that is why a president of Nigeria would approve railway construction into another country, completely sovereign country, simply because it serves the interests of his tribesmen. And that is why you see a president of Nigeria supporting another country to gain an office at the African Union, OAU then, against his country's man. And that is why you will see that there is a development that is lopsided, and the people are seeing it. When those who feel marginalized and deprived see this obvious deprivation, how do you expect them to react? You don't expect them to become, to patronize the system that segregates against them and deprives them of their basic rights as citizens. So, when you begin to say, oh, the Southeasterners, they don't know how to play the politics, it is because most likely they have not learned enough to play the tribal politics. And that is why they go to every part of the country. They establish there, they marry there, they do everything there. They even some of the things that they do there are greater than what they do in their homeland. juxtapose that with some other tribesmen and find out who really are the true Nigerians in Nigeria, and who really are the ones who love Nigeria, and who really are the ones who want a united Nigeria because of the Republican and egregious nature of the Igbo man of the Southeast. He operates better when there is unity around the country. But when there is lopsided, intentional policy targeted at them, and you don't expect them to keep quiet, they will naturally cry out. And that is exactly what you are seeing today. And that is why there is this iron ceiling placed at the roof, at the top, at the head of an average Igbo man, whereby when they say, oh, they will not allow him to rule, who are the they? The they are the people who gang against the Easterners, who gang against the Southeast, and who you see it happen, and it came to a very strong head in 2023. And up to today, men and women of conscience will tell you that the result of 2023 general election did not reflect the mandate and the votes of the people. Now we are approaching another election, and you see the diatribe, you see the coagulation of sentiments, negative sentimentalism, propelled against a people that they feel, oh, they are too wise, we will not allow them. They are too bold, we will not allow them. They are braggarts. Meanwhile, in any environment, if you understand the nature of the people, that is the only way you will live in harmony with them. Meanwhile, the same people that you are claiming that they are too bold, they are too wide, they are too brash, are making waves all around the world. When they break the ice, any part of the world, oh, you claim them. These are Nigerians. You're proud of them. But when you come home, do you give them equal recognition? Will you even allow them to come and bring in that their God-given talent, ingenuity, and enterprise to be able to push the country and take it to the next level? Nigerians are holding Nigeria down, essentially because of the level of injustice, crass injustice, and nepotism that we see in the land. Until we change our mental construct. And that is why President Obasanjo will continue to tell you that, yes, those of you who are shouting restructuring, have you restructured your mind? Sometimes, somehow, I agree with him that while we restructure the polity, while we restructure the policies, while we restructure the environment, we also will need to restructure our mental construct.
All right, Barrister, thank you very much. We're going to take a very short break. Barrister, we'll take a very short break and we'll continue after this. Barrister, please do kind of stay on the line. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back. The Evening Rush continues afterwards.
Give malaria a double punch of Protestanate and Pneumonia Queen. An effective combination that Camosunate anti-malaria therapy. Camosunate comes in 4 different packs for different age groups. Below 1 year, 1 to 6 years, 7 to 13 years, 14 and above.
Camosunate, effective anti-malaria for all ages. Marketed by Janet Pharmaceuticals Limited. If symptoms persist after 3 days, please see your doctor. Read the leaflet inside.
You are listening to your number one station, the Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. Do not touch that dial.
Parents, you've worked hard to give your child the very best future. With a 90% graduate employment rate in the first 6 months of graduation, that future could be right here at Lancaster University, Ghana, the only British branch campus in sub-Saharan Africa. The same globally recognized UK degree, accredited to the highest international standards, all within a modern learning environment. Applications are now open. Visit lancaster.edu.gh to apply today. Lancaster University, Ghana, a global degree at your doorstep.
To the city's #1 super dial. Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. Latest. house dey dark and nepa bill dey choke. E dey worry you as e dey affect your business. Solution don come. Imagine say you wake up for morning, light no shake, fridge don block, business no get wahala, everything dey okay. No be dream o. With Yohaku, na you dey control your light. Yohaku dey sell gas cooker, freezer, fridge, and dem go furnish you with modern kitchen o. Whether na inverter, batteries, panels, smart street lights, be na solar AC system wey you wan use for house, business, abi for industrial work, Yohaku stand chim to help you. Bye to nepa bill o. No wait till transformer go spoil again o. Oya run call Yohaku for 070-121-30260 or 080-324-82573, or you fit to call 080-669-60066. For Lagos, we dey for shop F1179 Industrial Section, Ojo Alaba International Market, or shop G6 Electronic Section, Alaba International Market, Headline, Ute Ubochi Plaza, Abuja office na Corporate 13, Dubai International Market, back of Games Village, Karo District for Abuja. For Port Harcourt, we dey for number 51, Oporo Road, Eziowa Elite Trade Center for River State. Yohaku. Website na www.yohakuproducts.com. Online store na www.yohakustore.com. Yohaku. From sun to earth, we dey make your mind dey cool.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. This is still the Evening Rush right here on Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to take back your health, your strength, your life. Introducing the natural powerhouse from Emerald Global, the 100% organic plant-based wellness solution transforming lives across Nigeria. This is not your regular supplement. Oh no. Emerald Global's natural formula is loaded with rich bioactive plant compounds that work wonders in your body naturally. So what are the results? Exactly. Let me list them out. Balances hormones, boosts immunity, acts as a natural antioxidant or antibiotic, relieves allergies and fights infections, improves digestion and lowers bad cholesterol, normalizes blood pressure and boosts blood circulation. Now, reverses diabetes, eases arthritis, tackles typhoid and malaria, and even more. Boosts your libido, very essential, especially during the weekends. Improves vision, supports kidney and liver health, enhances male and female fertility, fights fibroid, ulcers, asthma, prostate issues, stroke, and more. It's considered a true diamond mine of wellness. So, here is the big one. When you visit Emerald Global, you get a free health checkup plus a free tutorial on how to maintain your health naturally. And yes, it's completely free. In case you're asking that question, it's completely free. Okay? So why do you have to wait? Visit this Saturday, the 25th of July at Nigeria Ports Authority, that's NPA Sports Complex, Echo Club House or Echo Club Close, Bode Thomas, Surulere, Lagos. So take that again. Do visit on Saturday, the 25th of July at Nigeria Ports Authority Sports Complex, Echo Club Close, Bode Thomas, Surulere, Lagos, or you call Ambassador John and Ambassador Peace on the following numbers. Please kindly take these numbers down. Have your biro and paper down, or you have your contacts open where you can type this to save. The number to call, especially for Ambassador John, is 081 37409373 081 374 09373 081 374 09373. That's Ambassador John. Now Ambassador Peace, call 080 3353 5515. Again, 080 3353 5515. Okay, So call those numbers right now. Remember, you get a free health checkup plus a free tutorial. 1, on how to maintain your health naturally, and 2, how to make money from the industry. Yes, test and see, because with Emerald Global, nature heals, restores, and transforms. Exactly. We talked to you about health right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Now, back to the conversation. Barrister Fred, are you with us, sir?
Yes, I'm with you.
Thank you very much, sir, for your patience. Let's quickly move to, a statement recently disclosed. Now, a particular individual who considers himself the youth leader of Biram local government, right, one of the youth leaders, was arrested by the DSS after he made an expose that the Nigerian government and Boko Haram, or the Nigerian military, or the Nigerian defense system, had a 40-day truce with Boko Haram. And he said he doesn't care. He also made statements that in some instances he's been blocked when he tried to reach the relevant authorities on making suggestions on how to resolve all of this. And the DSS took him up immediately after that statement, or that out, and almost the same thing like what happened with El Rufai. So big question is this: are the Nigerian security agencies not saying they do not know? Are the DSS coming to pick him up? Is he saying a lie? They have not sent any statement to distance themselves or a rebuttal as to that statement made. The only person who made a statement as a rebuttal was Mr. Ali Ndume, a senator. So what's your take on this, sir, very quickly, before we move to Atiku, Tinubu, and Obasanjo?
In as much as the SSS has the authority to call anybody they feel has posed a threat to state security, or has made statement that may undermine state security, it is very, very important that the SSS is very conscious of their image before the public, because in the first instance, they are not expected to be a state security service for the executive. When we say the state includes the leaders and the led. So they have a responsibility not only to the leaders, but also to the led. I say this with all sense of responsibility because their attitude towards Professor Martin Agaj, a 74-year-old emeritus professor of cardiothoracic surgery, the one who carried out the first open heart surgery in Nigeria and handled a heart transplant at University of Nigeria Teaching Hospital in Enugu. His home was waylaid by SSS in the middle of the night around 2 a.m. So the same way, the same SSS waylaid the homes of judges. They have not learnt any lesson. They now waylaid the home of the professor. Arrested him and his daughter, flew to them to Lagos, only for them to apologize to them that they made a mistake. Esther, can you imagine such? The tremor, the psychological shock that the prof went through has not left him as we speak. Now, we need to begin to ask the security agencies, especially the SSS, should know that in as much as they are working for the state, they should realize that the state comprises of the leaders and the led. Any attempt to only work for the interests of the leaders, undermining the interests and the protection of the people, the led, is below their expectation in office. Now, the man who gave such statement, an open statement to the media, we expected that he should be called to give more information. It shouldn't be by way of an arrest. It should be by way of an invitation to expatiate what he has said. And while doing so, he deserves the state protection so that we will learn from him. Nobody has monopoly of knowledge or wisdom. If there are things that he knows that the state does not know, after all, nobody is a spirit. So that they will get information from him and utilize that information towards enhancing the security and lives of the Nigerian people, which of course we have continued to say, according to section 14.2 of the Constitution, that the basic essence of the governance is for the security and lives of the people. So if a man like that has such information and has avoided that in the public, I do not expect that the reaction of the government to the SSS will be to just arrest him and then tag him a criminal and possibly throw him into the dungeon. I expected that they should bring him close and get to understand, get the facts in what he's saying, and utilize any meat in his statement, and towards enhancing their job as security officers. The man mentioned some names, and some of the names that he mentioned, a lot of them have not come out to debunk his narrative. Even the senator that he mentioned, that he came out to under his right of reply, a lot of the issues are still hanging. So that tells you that so many things, a lot of water is passing under the bridge. The government knows everything. The government has the capacity to know everything because the government can hire anybody. The government can have access to any information under the sun. Anyone that is not immediately available in the country, the same government has the capacity to get that information from outside. So I do not think that anything that is going on in Nigeria has made the radar of government. Of course, General Abacha said so, that any insecurity situation that lasts beyond 1 week must have the knowledge of the government. Whether the government wants to act in one way or the other is up to them, and then only they as government will explain to Nigerian people.
All right, Barrister, very quickly. Atiku, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and his former principal, former President Olusegun Obasanjo, seem to be in a triangle. Now, Atiku is asking Tinubu to submit himself for a fresh probe concerning the narcotics case, okay, because the Bayo Nanoga, the presidential spokesperson, responded, that if they were in China, Atiku is meant to rot in jail. Anyway, he made that statement, but nothing grand out of it. And they said that the statement and utterance Atiku is making is unsubstantiated and has no basis whatsoever, but rather he should focus on internal politics rather than having to create a sense where there will be some interference from international individuals or from the international polity. He should focus his own political tactics internally, or rather it's a domesticated issue, so he should do what you call domesticated politics and not export the situation. Now, in that regard, Atiku is responding by telling him, Oga, stop your long English, submit yourself for more probe to the US. Obasanjo is now also saying that he was tackling Oshoba. He said Atiku was the one that funded his impeachment plot. He also, Atiku, in responding to Obasanjo, now said, Mr. Obasanjo, stop all this, your recycled allegations. Nobody believes them. Who is your 2027 candidate? Declare your 2027 candidate and stop all these recycled allegations. Tell us whom you prefer, whom you're supporting for 2027, and stop all these allegations you're making because they are not true. And that Obasanjo has continued to attack him for no reason, which a couple of persons feel is the impediment for Atiku, why he has not, for one reason or the other, won any elections he has been part of. What's your take on that?
If the conversations in Nigeria in 2026 will be circling around men that are over 80 years, does that not worry you? Does that not worry Nigerians? That our political conversations in this day and age will always be around men who are in their 80s, men who had the opportunity at one time or the other in the past to lead the country, men whose result of leadership have accumulated to put Nigeria and place Nigeria at the sorry state that it is today. When in other parts of the world, we are talking about the new generation. We are talking about artificial intelligence. We are talking about the Gen Zs. We are talking about the youth. We are talking about the young ones who have energy and the capacity to take over and run the country. If Nigeria is now, they know that when a young person falls, he is looking forward to where he's going. But when an old man falls, he looks back Looking back, yes, might be as a result of experience. Maybe it is also as a result of baggage of the past. I expected and I had hoped and thought that when we say the youth are the leaders of tomorrow, their tomorrow should be very important. When we begin to propagate not you too young to run, we should be aiming at the youth and not just on paper. But today, the whole aim is about the past. Out of the major presidential candidates of the country, the pendulum should be swinging in the direction of the younger ones who have the capacity and who have the experience and the energy to run the country. But today, where are the narratives? Old men that will sit down at a meeting and doze off, and by the time the image and their picture of dozing off surfaces, their media handlers will begin to attack the public as if that was not natural. Age is one thing that you can never cheat nature about. When it comes, it must come. And it's the only thing that can never come down once it continues to go up. So why are we deceiving ourselves? The issues about leadership. Anybody who wants to lead others, like we say that in Julius Caesar, that a leader must not just be above board, but must be manifestly be seen to be above board.
Sure.
You can't have baggages and you come out to lead your people. You cannot. So the narrative about, submit yourself to inspection, submit yourself to examination, it cannot die. It will always be there, because if you submit yourself to be elected as a leader, you should as well submit yourself for examination. Because the life of every leader is like an open book. Otherwise, you go back to a house. Because the people you aim to lead have no confidence in your integrity. Very recently, Singapore elected their leaders. And the man they chose, what are the principles, what are the characters that they looked at? Integrity, track record, honesty, humility, passion. These are the things that make up a leader. It is not how much you have in your bank account. It's only in Nigeria that you begin to determine leadership by wealth.
Yes, so the depth of your finance.
That wealth must be examined, thoroughly examined.
Exactly.
How do you make
the source
money?
of the wealth needs to be questioned.
Is it when you steal, you say you are rich? A thief cannot claim to be a rich man. A thief is a thief and not a rich person, because he is holding on to what to the spoils of his loot. So you can't respect such a person and say, oh, he's rich. A former DIG of Nigerian police, when he became a senator, he stood on the floor of the Senate, looked around, and told the Senate president that he was so incensed and angry with the men and women, especially the men he was seeing at the floor of the National Assembly, especially in the Senate, that the majority of them were 419ers, crooks, drug barons, and the people that he chased around when he was the police force. And he was so disappointed that he had come to National Assembly and they are sitting in the same chamber looking at his face. And he would threaten to mention their names. The then Senate president pleaded with him to avoid the scandal on the floor, that he shouldn't mention their names. And the man was so angry. It happened live. And so many other examples about leaders who were crooks, who were thieves, known thieves, occupying positions of authority in Nigeria. How can a country grow? You cannot give what you don't have. If a leader does not have integrity, how do you expect him to be talking about honesty? Anywhere he sees I, he wouldn't wait to see the other letters that go with integrity. He will throw it away and run away, because he does not have it. And time has come when we should begin to talk about leadership based on integrity, passion, honesty, and the credible track record. And not, because he's my brother from my own side. Oh, he's my trash man. If not you, uncle, if they give you if they put sugar in your mouth, will you spill it away? These are these are discussions, pedestrian discussions by the masses who ordinarily should be asking questions. Because the man who is a thief, if he gets position of authority, he cannot stop stealing because he is in DNA. He cannot. And that is why one of the presidential candidates said that it is any man who has opportunity to steal something and he refuses to steal it has conquered his self-greed, has conquered the urge to steal, and has that level of integrity that is required of a leader. How many of our leaders fall into that bracket? Would Nigerians talk to themselves, call themselves to a meeting and address the issues that worry them? You go and elect a thief, or you allow a thief to lead you, and you come back tomorrow and expect to have a change or a same country. That cannot happen. So while we look towards the direction of selection of leadership, we must not lose sight of the fact that integrity, honesty, and credibility are the major, when you add it to capacity, these are the major ingredients of leadership. And not, how much does he have? How much is he ready to bring? How much has he brought? How much is he ready to give us? Because at the end of the day, we have seen from experience that the more he gives you to bribe you, the more he steals from you when he has the opportunity that you have given him as your leader. This is very important that Nigerians must take home as we approach 2027 election and in our march towards enhancing our democracy. Otherwise, we are just deceiving ourselves.
Barrister Fred Nzako, thank you so much for your perceptions and submissions this evening. We sincerely do appreciate your input, sir.
Many thanks.
All right, Barrister. God bless you. Enjoy your weekend.
Same to you.
All right. Wow, quite the conversation in there. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to get your reaction on the evening rush based on what we discussed this evening. Please, I beg you in the mighty name of God, no insults, no derogatory statements, speak with facts, not sentiments. The idea is to move forward. And please, any recommendation that we can give to make this country better, I always say we don't have any other place to call home but here. And that's the essence of the conversation we have here. The essence is to educate ourselves and also clamor for inclusivity and see how we can ensure that we have proper governance. The important thing is proper governance. If the government of the day said, vote for me, I promise to prioritize you, and then you're not prioritizing, it is our responsibility to ask them, why are you not prioritizing us? It's our responsibility to ask them, why have you left us behind? All right, 080-3692-9933. That's the number to call, and the WhatsApp number is 0817-1756-338. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Esther, good evening.
Hello?
Esther, good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, sir. Welcome. What's your name?
My name is Prince Chigozim.
Prince Chigozim, welcome, sir. Where are you calling from?
Yeah, I'm calling from Yaba College of Medicine.
Yaba College of Medicine.
Yeah.
Welcome, sir. Please go ahead.
I appreciate your job you're doing.
Thank you.
You are enlightening some people who doesn't know what is happening in the country, like so many ways. When I listen to your program, I discover so many things which I don't even know that such a thing is moving on in this country. Your program has enlightened me so many things, which I will now know the left and right, what to do. You know, I thank the barrister who took his time to analyze the issues very, very well. Each time I listen to him, I am so impressed. My thanks goes to him also.
Thank you, sir.
Please hold on the barrister, Zako. He's a man of integrity. When I listen to him, I'm so impressed. Also, Barrister Darlington. I don't have much to say about Obasanjo and Atiku. They know themselves right from time. Whatever is happening, they know themselves. So I thank you for your program. It makes a lot of us, normally we Igbos, to know the deep down of what is happening in Nigeria. May God bless you, my sister.
All right, sir. Thank you very much. Good night, sir.
Bye. Thank you.
Hello, good evening. Hello?
Good evening.
Yes, good evening. How are you?
Good evening.
Welcome. How are you doing?
This is Emeka from Business.
Emeka, welcome.
Yeah. Esther, I want to ask, what did the Igbo people did to Nigeria that made them to always hate them? Look at the comment that a particular police officer in the checkpoint which you mentioned. Now suppose them.
Hello? Emeka, your network no good oh. He's calling from WhatsApp. All right, 08036929933. That's the number to call. Hello, good evening. Turn down the volume of your radio, sir. Welcome. What's your name?
My name is Bushman from Ijegu.
Usman from Ijegu.
Yes.
Mr. Usman, is this your first time of calling?
No, Bushman.
Bushman.
Yes, that's my name.
Mr. Bushman, is this your first time of calling us?
No, I changed my name. It's not the first time I called.
All right, Mr. Bushman. Why did you change your name?
That is the name I bear for now.
Mr. Bushman, what are you running away from? Welcome.
Good evening, Esther.
Good evening.
I appreciate you people. You are doing a nice job.
Welcome, sir.
Make Nigeria a better place.
Welcome.
The barrister that is your guest today, I so much respect that man like I respect Barrister Darlington. You can see a total comprehensive analysis that he gave about Nigeria and about the topics that we are talking about today. You understand?
Yes, sir.
You see such people, such wise people in the society. You know, I appreciate you people. I always pray for you, for your life and all, because the people that we are dealing with are so wicked and devilish that they can do anything. God will continue to protect you people in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Come to what we are talking about Nigeria, the leadership and everything. What do you expect from such people? The people that you can remember, you said something about the statement that was made by the First Lady in 2019.
Yeah.
You understand? Yes. Those are the kind of people that are ruling Nigeria. You understand? And the mindset. If I should ask a question, you understand?
Hello? Bushman. What happened now? Austin, what's going on now? Call go just come in, then go calls. Again, Hello, good evening.
Yes, this is Emeka. Call back.
Emeka, who was calling you? You're still calling on WhatsApp. Indi Begi will call you again. I'm going to go ahead.
Esther, what I'm saying is that the hatred they are hating Igbos, are they getting on it? The more they are hating Igbo keep on moving forward and keep on going higher. Esther, the barrister that made it able to understand. Now, the people that are leading us, all of them are chiefs. And what are we going to gain from such a people that always dare to looking for their own pocket, that doesn't care about the masses? They only care for their family, sending their family abroad with the tax money of Nigeria, oil money of Nigeria, while the masses of the Nigeria are suffering. I mean, it lets for Nigerians to learn a lesson. They are remaining under our tribe, our brothers, and voting for them, and they cannot even see the money from their brothers. They less for them. So let us keep on moving and let's keep on answering one Nigeria and hitting ourselves and allowing the wicked and the criminals to be ruling us until we wake up as a Nigeria. God bless you.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Quadri Suleiman on YouTube. It's quite unfortunate. I don't know who fractured you psychologically. I really don't know your affiliation. But Quadri, regardless of the political party that you represent, you don't need to express this kind of hatred. It doesn't make sense. Politics is politics, but sanitize your mindset, sanitize your psychology. I don't know what happened to you. I really don't know who affected you. I really don't know who fractured your psychological state. I don't know who hurt you. I really don't know your orientation or your upbringing or your educational qualification or educational exposure, that your line of thought is this basic and primitive. It's wrong, it's bad. I would implore you to help yourself. Now you can make your assertions based on your observations on why you think that no Igbo person can ever become a president in this country. You can highlight several issues or several things, or you can highlight those you prefer, or rather those you don't prefer. But to give such narratives, it's really not proper. And I think you're quite exposed, unless you're not, but possibly you're a junkyard, you reason in a junkyard manner. But on a platform like this on YouTube, where you have such international audiences, I would implore you to act civil, okay? Act very civil. It doesn't represent a good taste of your personality. Your name is actually quite amazing, but the kind of person that you are seems you have a spiritual problem. All right, 08036929933. That's the number to call. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Sister Esther.
Welcome, sir. What's your name?
My name is Pastor Ifeanyi Chukwu, calling from Ejagamo.
All right, welcome, sir. Please go ahead.
I thank God for the good work you are doing.
Thank you very much, sir. God bless you.
While others are sleeping, you people are sorting, they going everywhere corner to make sure that you get what to deliver to Nigerians. God will strengthen your people.
Thank you.
What I'm trying to say here is that I don't know, at this time, people are still not oriented in the area of dividing the Nigeria more and more. We are still, talking about ethnic things. At this age, at this, this what do you call it? This new era of life, people are still, talking about others as if that they are not Nigerians.
It's happening big time. I'm not lying to you. It's happening big time. So it's unfortunate.
It's very unfair. At this time now that we are supposed to be fighting to be sure that things work well in this country, people are just busy, looking, fighting for ethnic things that it doesn't have, that cannot provide food on the table. If Igbo people is not going to be a president, those ones that have been a president for how many years, what have we achieved from it? Igbo is not coming to be a president of his own. If they don't want Igbo to be a president, let them continue on, no problem. Let's see how far they will go. So the thing there is that it's getting out of hand, that somebody at this time now will be talking about this type of rubbish. It's unfair. It's unfair. God will bless them.
Amen. Thank you
then,
very much.
In the area of Atiku and Obasanjo and Keneko, these people, I don't know what they're looking for again. I don't know what they're looking for. God has given them the grace to get whatever they have gotten in this life. Whatever that money can buy, God has given them the grace to have it, and they have been enjoying that money till now. So many people have, acquired this type of wealth. They didn't live to eat it till this time. Why are they disturbing Nigerians? Why are they disturbing Nigerians? They are the ones that are supposed to make this country to be great. When things are not getting to this level, but they refuse to do it. Can't they leave Nigerians alone? Let's see whether we can drink water, cave cup easily. Please let them go and sit down and stop canvassing them, talking about themselves anyhow like this. God will bless them all. I don't know which kind of wahala be this country for this kind of country.
I like that one. Well done, sir.
Yes.
Thank you for calling.
Thank you,
I
my
like
sister.
that. Yes.
Thank you.
Good night. Good night. Thank you for calling. Okay. 08036929933. That is the number. Hello. Good evening.
Hello. Good evening, Esther.
Good evening, sir. Welcome. How are you?
I'm fine. And you?
I am fine, sir. What's your name, sir?
Well, Patrick is calling from Okota. Where is my boyfriend, Darlington?
Mr. Patrick is 14 years old, but he didn't work today. Yes.
It's all right. You see, one time, Darlington once said it that the Igbos are the endangered species in Nigeria. And you can see it from the expression of that young man that called before the last caller. It is quite unfortunate.
No, what young man called, sir, before the last caller? It was a message on YouTube.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't quite catch up with that.
So I read it out because there was no basis for there was no context to the divisive statement he made. So I was like, okay, I don't know what happened to him. I don't know who ruined his life to enable such hate in his psychology. But I had to tell him to go for deliverance.
There are some of them like that who just believe that there's a part of the country that is not even supposed to be heard, how much more to be seen. And that is how they look at us from this part of the world. They zero Nigeria into three ethnic groups, that's the large ethnic group, and yet the other two big brothers now feel that one of the third one is not wanted at all. And that is what it has happened one day, another day, and another day, and it keeps going on.
But Mr. Patrick, Nigeria is even more than three major ethnic groups. If you even look at the composition of those that are considered minority, they are even more than these supposed major tribes.
No, they zero themselves and say they call the big three now. Now it's as if the other one do not exist. That's what I'm saying. So the remaining ones are now going to line up behind the big three. But even at that, when we came to Lagos newly, once you tell somebody from this part of the country that you are a Calabar man, once you don't speak Hausa, he considers you to be Igbo. It doesn't concern him whether you are from Calabar, you are Benin, or Port Harcourt. All they know is that once you cannot speak Hausa, you are Igbo. And that is the orientation they are continuing to carry on up to now. So that thing is something that, like Fred Zako said a while ago, when a traditional ruler will say a particular ethnic group be pushed into the lagoon, if they refuse to vote for a particular candidate, who is also in Nigeria, equally in Nigeria, like the people, exactly like the same people that want to push into the lagoon. Is that how a country is supposed to be run? No, now. If you have your choice, let other people also have their own choice. That's how it's supposed to be. So when you are telling me that there are more ethnic groups, we know all these things. But a situation where they now decided that other people do not exist, it's only two of them. And we know, Esther, there are certain things we will not say on air. I'm already a senior citizen of this country. So I know a lot more about the history of this country. That if I sit among my fellow elders, I know what we discussed concerning how Nigeria became a nation. One time, Anosike mentioned it, and Darlington also used to mention it here. How Nigeria became a country, and we know who are the original landlords. But then they are trying to turn the history upside down so that some of the young ones will not know how Nigeria started. We know all these shenanigans that are going on. So it's very unfortunate that this thing should be happening by this time of our 21st or 22nd century, where countries are advancing. I met my friend yesterday who just came from Japan. He said over there, it is the robot that is doing most of the jobs that human beings supposed to be working. So the system.
08036929933. That's the number to call. All right. Hello. Good evening. How are you? Hello.
Hello. Good evening, Esther.
Good evening, Changwak. Welcome. Happy Friday.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much. First of all, I want to greet Barrister Fred. Is he living outside Lagos?
No. He stays in Lagos, but he shuffles between Lagos and Abuja.
Maybe sometimes you can invite him to the studio. I really enjoy
Barrister,
his analysis.
you know easy. Make no life for you. You know easy.
Barrister is a good man. I really enjoy his. Yes, again, that's something I enjoy. Okay, now, quick one. Now, you see our politicians. I think for those that are above 20 and above, they're supposed to know the method they use, to divide us, especially with the majority. They use two things tribalism and religions to divide us. Yes, and they are winning it because we don't know their antics. So by now, I believe that I think Nigerians are supposed to at least to know where they are going to, especially going towards 2027 election. And until we come to that realization before we win these people, and for we to win them, we must unite as one voice, in respect of where you come from, your religion, whatever you practice. We must unite as one person.
Yeah.
If not, these people will continue to rule us with their families, with their children on budget. You see, all their children, they don't school here now, they school abroad. You see them, last week they were celebrating with their kids, and we are here. It's not supposed to be like that. So the best is that I pray that by 2027 we should go out in mass and vote for Obi until we give an Igbo man to rule this country. Esther, I'm not God, I'm not a prophet. But until we give an Igbo man to rule this country, like other tribes, if not, there will be no peace.
Well, Changwak, hold on. I want to oppose that blanket statement.
Yes, go on.
Because that will be another conversation that we're going to have. See, for the Igbos, I'm not speaking generally for all of them, right? I think it's about uprightness and fairness. Like I have said this thing, if Professor Yemi Oshibajo was in the equation in 2023, I don't even think Peter Obi will have the kind of support he got from the Southeast. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, for real. Yeah. So for them, it has never been about their tribe's person. It's about the traits, the mannerism, what they consider a true leader should possess. I don't know if you get my drift. I mean, look at the time of Obasanjo. That was something they believed in. So, and even the Igbo leaders, it's not even all of them. If you hear them castigate the Igbo leaders, have you heard them castigate Chukwuma Soludo, Dave Umahi, Francis Nwifuru, the governor of Ebonyi State, or the only person I really hear them hail right now in this current dispensation is Alex Oti. They're not even happy with most of the governors. They feel that they're not aligning, they're not representing, they're not doing what is needed to be done. Their House of Rep members, they're not happy with some of them. So it's for them, it's not even about where you come from. They even fight their own people more than anything. They accept other persons more than their own people. So it tells you the mindset of somebody from that place. So I don't want to believe that blanket statement that unless an Igbo man rules Nigeria. Not necessarily, actually. They just want good leadership, equal representation, inclusivity. And it's not just them. Every Nigerian wants that.
Yes, Esther, yes, I understand. I totally understand. But why is it that, since the inception of this country, especially our democracy, they have not allowed an Igbo man to rule? Especially like Mr. Peter Obi, is capable. So this guy should allow him to rule, at least it should allow him to come there. It's better we foster our unity, everything we come together, we make us strong, unite us. So I think that's my own take on that. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Changwak. Thank you for calling, okay? 08036929933, 08036929933, and the WhatsApp number is 0817-1756-338, 0817-1756-338. Hello, good evening. Welcome, sir. How are you?
Fine. Kule from Isolo.
Kule from Isolo. Kule, welcome.
Yeah. My point is this. Nobody hates anybody in this country. Get that straight, please. All your analysts and some of your callers, they are making it look as if some tribe hates somebody or some tribe doesn't hate anybody.
Yeah.
So my point is this. Nigeria is a general state, is a secular state. But despite that, we are divided by our state of origin and by our ancestral history.
Yeah.
Everybody has their own history. So nobody will come from other tribe now and say they want to come and install something like Eze of Ajawa Estate, that the one that they did last time in our own place here. As an indigenous of Isolo, it is absolute nonsense. That was why we went to that one palace that time and we told the son of Isolo, we cannot continue this kind of stuff in this place. So everybody should know their boundary lines. Fine, we are together, but what you cannot take in your own place, you expect other people to take it. And look at the ones that we even manage to take. As every other person in this Nigeria, everybody has their own family person represented here in Lagos. We are the most tolerant tribe and the most tolerant people in this federation of Nigeria. Everybody comes to Lagos. We allow them to the extent that some are calling Lagos a no man's land. What kind of rubbish is that? That is nonsense. You cannot call my ancestral land a no man's land. Look at the one that we even voted for in the last election now, Okejo. What has that one done? It was signed out for him to compensate the aboriginals of the people. He carried about 80 or 90% of Igbos. Despite representing a Yoruba land, he carried all the Igbo people now, sponsor them abroad. The original people, we the indigenous of this place now, he put us one side. And you expect us to be happy. Can any other person, tribal person, try that in their own state? I said in the East, I know about Oka, I know about Enugu. Another person cannot go to Ebonyi. Ebonyi person, they even hate them in other places like that. They cause some people will sue. So who are they fooling here now? Nobody hates anybody. But the point is that everybody must know their boundary line. This is not your own land. It is an ancestral land of some people. So don't call it no man's land. And those of them that we have given opportunity now, Tony Nwolu 2015, what did he do to the people of the solo here? He represented us, absolute nonsense. He just went there, took our money, carried some Igbo people, sponsored them and all this Ladipo boy. The same thing with this other one too. Okay, Joe, now he's running Helter Skelter. We have told your son of his son, if this guy ever wins, we are going to fight that nonsense. What kind of rubbish is that? So that is the truth. Everybody should know their boundary lines. Thank you.
All right, Kunle, well done. All right. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening, sir. How are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
Fine. What's your name?
My name is Henry. I'm calling you from the United Kingdom.
Kenny?
Henry, calling from the United Kingdom.
Welcome, sir. Thank you for calling. Please go ahead.
Oh, yes. I want to appreciate Barrister Isaac for the wonderful analysis.
All right.
Right. I'll go straight to the point. I think we Nigerians and the media and everyone is deceiving themselves. Like most people thinking that we don't know what's happening in Nigeria. For instance, the video of that man saying if he was an Igbo man, he would have been detained. And I ask, you say federal government should take action. How can a government whose objective is nepotism, tribalism, take an action? They said, show me your friend, I will tell you who you are. The quality of leadership you have in the Western world reflects on the people. The antecedents is there. You've seen, I watched a clip of the First Lady saying that Igbos must go back to the...
Can you call back? All right, I'm about to take some messages right now. I think you've called before, the same network situation. All right. Hello?
Hello, Esther.
Yes, who is calling you? I think anytime you pick your call always goes off.
Sorry, I think it was a network. I'm sorry.
All right, please go ahead.
Right, sorry, I was making my point. I said we're all witness to the video made by the First Lady of Nigeria, a First Lady for that matter, saying that after the 2023 election, their main purpose is to send Igbos back to their country and take over their land. What is happening today? In the whole of Lagos, Igbos properties are being demolished every day on daily basis. Every day on daily basis. There was a man who said his shop was demolished in Alaba International Market. I saw beautiful houses. And what is happening? This is a government. I have never believed in. Nigeria has not been this bad before. Listen, I grew up in the north. In fact, we thought the South should be united, like the way that Yorubas and the Igbos. I don't want to include the whole Yorubas because this is happening mainly in Lagos because Tinubu is the master planner of this. You can never see anywhere in the Southwest, apart from Lagos, where Igbo properties are being demolished. So I don't want to include the whole Yorubas.
Yeah.
This is a strategy by the government. Why? Any government that has nothing to show, they will go the tribal way. Just to, in fact, I don't know. Since 1999, when I was in elections, you can never see a prominent Igbo man that has come out and said he wants to be president. Now, P2B came out. And what is the problem? Because an Igbo man came out.
This 08036929933. That's the number to call. All right, 08036929933. Hello, good evening. Please turn down the volume of your radio very quickly. There's a feedback. There's a sound. You're still on speaker. I told you to turn it off. Turn off your radio. 080-3692-9933. That's the number to call. 080-3692-9933. All right. Hello. Good evening.
Hey, sir.
Welcome. How are you?
I'm fine, and you?
Welcome, Remy. Please go ahead.
I quite agree with the last caller. It's a pattern. This pattern you can't see in any other 5 southwest states. Here in Lagos is the only place where you find it. So how best can you explain that? It's politics. The Remi Tinubu who even made that statement, I hope you are aware she's not Yoruba.
Ishakiri, right?
From Delta State. But she said that Delta State can easily be merged with the Southeast or South-South. But you heard her saying that. It's more of a political narrative. Yes, the Igbos seem to be the low-hanging fruit when it comes to political gimmick in Lagos State. Here in Lagos, the Igbos seem to be, because I could recall when Agbaje was vying for the gubernatorial position in 2007. They even said that he can't be trusted because he handed over Lagos to the Igbos. Way back then, they were banners. They did that. So for you to know that, we need to understand PSYOPs. It has a pattern. The most intermarried tribes or ethnic groups are the Yoruba and Igbos. We still marry till tomorrow from both the elite and the poor. So if truly that narrative is true, how come the elite are giving their sons or daughters to the Yorubas or to other tribes? So we shouldn't fall for that narrative. They want it to stick. And you know, if something goes on for a while, it becomes, even if it's not a fact, people tend to adopt it as a fact over time, and they'll make reference to it.
Very true. But, you know, we have to highlight it because I get a lot of messages. So we need to correct that narrative. We need to correct that impression. It's not a good thing. And it's even affecting them in the diaspora. I mean, something that never used to be heard of in diaspora, where regardless of where you come from, outside Nigeria, almost Nigerians are Nigerians, they glue together. Yeah. But you're now seeing this whole thing affecting relationships, affecting alignments, affecting a lot of things. Let me give you an instance. Let me share something with you.
Okay.
There was a job opportunity somewhere, and a friend of mine let me know about it, and she was like, nobody else from any other tribe, like it has to be, you know, within our own ethnic group. And I said, why? She said it never used to be like that before, but that something is now going on there where when opportunities come like this, they don't share it. They have platforms. They don't share it immediately on those platforms. They locate their own people to share it with. So they, like, everyone is helping their own person. I'm like, it never was like that before at all. So how did this thing transport itself outside? Nigerians used to help themselves outside. Like, they help themselves to protect themselves. How did it get to that point?
How did Tinubu get into power? Let me mention his name. 2023, we saw how it played out. How someone came out and said, Amachine Edu should come out and vote. 2015, we heard how a king in Lagos said a certain tribe will be thrown into the lagoon. They don't vote in a particular pattern. So we know how it started. It was like a joke, like it wasn't going to snowball into this. But it will. And it will get worse if we also allow it to thrive. Tell me which tribe is not an endangered species. The South, the South-South, the Southwest, the North, the Middle Belt. It is the oppressed against the oppressor. It's as simple as that. But they don't want us to see it that way. They want it to be like the Yorubas are favored. The Hausas are better. The Igbos shouldn't be, you know. They are trying to push that narrative and they want it to stick. Today now I heard that if you go to Namasa, the most employed people are the Yorubas from Osun State.
Yeah.
When Buhari was there,
it was Hausas that full there.
Sure you get. So there is a pattern, and the political elite are using that to divide us. Have you listened to the clerics from the north? how they speak ill of the Southwest Muslims. Have you listened to their teachings? They will let you know that the Southwestern Muslims are less of a Muslim. We saw a cleric saying something about Remi Tinubu the other day that she should be killed or something.
Yeah, that was when they just came in then.
It was on public. For you to know that this thing is a pattern. And it is among the elite, political elite, the religious elite. And we that are foolish enough fall into that too. Yes, they attack the Igbos when it comes to any political stuff. The Igbos are the ones to be used. And they're buying our land. Did they get it for free? They bought it.
They bought it.
And it only happens
they
here
paid
in
for
Lagos.
it.
Out of the 6 Southwest, have you ever reported any news from any other part?
No.
With all this kind of stuff? It's only Lagos here. And you can tell the camp of the people that thing happens. It is the APC. They brought that kind of... They started that since 1999. And the ringleader is the president of today. And they won't stop. They'll make it worse. They want to push the narrative across internationally that the Igbos can be trusted. So that the countries over there would feel the Igbos are the ones polluting their country. That is the narrative they want to push. So we should be careful not to fall for that narrative. It shouldn't stick. The Yorubas are still married the Igbo till tomorrow. We do businesses, everything together. So when it comes to election year, electionary time, that is why when they tell you the Igbos can't be trusted, the Igbos are this and that. They try to spin things up. So people should know psyops when they see one.
Thank you, Rami. Thank you so much for calling. All right. Good evening, Esther and your guest. Esther, I was surprised when I heard the revelation of the youth leader from Southern Borno. So there's a ceasefire between the government and terrorists. It's very unfortunate. On Igbo presidency, I was with a northern friend. He said that unless Igbo man rules Nigeria, that things will not get well. Having tried Hausa, Yoruba, why not try Igbo? Esther, it's well. May God bless Nigeria. Online chief from Ayobo. Yes, God will bless Nigeria. Good evening, Esther. Good evening to you. Esther, the young man being interviewed by... no, that was not on Arise, it was on Channels, has said it all. Most governors have their hands in terrorism, supporting their movement actively in achieving their goals. The good citizens are frustrated over terrorism in this country. Okay, citizens can't go out in search of daily bread. The poor can't breathe anymore, and life is very difficult for a living. My own take is, let Tinubu please step down for a good governance to take place. Remy from Ejigbo, Lagos. All right, Esther. I was surprised with Mr. Elvis during the news analysis when he mentioned that a U.S. congressman said about how Tinubu is a threat to the peace in Nigeria and U.S. relationship. Elvis disagreed and said it was Buhari. But what was it that Buhari did that Tinubu has not surpassed today? Is it in nepotism, divisiveness, corruption, propaganda, recklessness, pocketing of the National Assembly? What else? Buhari gave all those arms of government's free hands and did not destabilize opposition parties. Rather, he allowed them, and Buhari never allowed people with questionable characters around him. At least people were fearing Buhari, but now no one in the corridor of power that fears the current president. Rather, they can do as they like. So Elvis did not see all those things which the US are witnesses. You see from Ojo. Okay. This person says, hello Esther, I appreciate you and Barrister Fred on today's update news. Please send me the video link that you played a few days ago that text post insurgent sponsors. Alex, thanks. Wow, I thought I sent you that. I've sent that link to a lot of people. Good evening, Esther. There is nothing anybody can tell me that there is no hatred in Nigeria against the Igbos. That is what Odumegwu Ojukwu was against, and it turned out a civil war. This time around, Mr. Peter Obi's declaration to become the president of Nigeria is also like he committed a crime. Staying in a marriage is not by force. If Igbos are not wanted, why don't they let them be on their own? Simeon from Oyigbo. All right. Good evening, Esther and the barrister. See, Nigerians are sleeping, but the day they wake up, even Almighty Tinubu will resign, or history has a way of repeating itself. Check other African leaders who ended up in exile. This person says, hi, I'm waiting for your message. Hi. Good evening, Esther and your guest. Esther, I was surprised. Okay, I think I've read this. I have read this message. Oh, please, no calls for now. Let me just take some messages, please. Good evening. It's the behavior and pronouncements of Igbo people in Lagos State that incited the negative reactions of many Yorubas in Lagos State. Not until the Igbos learn how to respect the culture of their host, they will continue to get some unbecoming reactions. Lagos is not a no man's land. Muyiwa Akinwumi from Ijegun. Now, wow. Did they make that statement? I thought it was Shagari, one of the presidential candidates, that made that statement. Was it the Igbos that made that statement? Okay. Good evening, Esther. I appreciate you doing a great job. Barrister Fred did a very intelligent analysis. Thank you for bringing him on board. Honestly, Esther, your program is really educative. We're supposed to write exam. They collect. Don't worry. We are going to do exam one day. Current news and current affairs. We are going to do exam, but there'll be a cash reward for it. I want to know how we're learning a lot of things. Okay, I have nothing to say that God will uproot every unwanted blood-sucking leader in this country. Bottom line is the issue of Nigeria is leadership, and that's why we are struggling as a nation. Finally, the Mr. Kunle that called, I don't think the man is informed whether he is just let him leave. Oh, my chi boy from Jack on Digate. Everyone is entitled to their opinions and expressions, sir. Please let them express themselves. All right, so long as we don't insult or make any derogatory statements or whatever. Good evening, Esther. I want to ask, can the king of corruption fight corruption? This is Dayo. Lekon, this your message will put me for problem. Lekon. Good evening, Esther. Thank you for your good work. For the fact that it is only in this country that you hear one Nigeria, I always ask myself, why is there no one Ghana in other countries? Because we're not one. Most Igbos have even instructed their children never to marry outside their tribe, which I think is very good for the security of their children. Thank you. Also, Noel from Ayobo. Also, I'm going for a weekend this Saturday. Now, Igbo and Yoruba, they married. The man is from Ibadan, and the lady is from Abia State. Good evening, Esther and Barrister. Nigerians, please, whatever we do, we should not vote in a president with baggages, especially one with both local and international baggages, because the money they will use to pay lobbyists to seek for relevance on the international stage will be very useful in improving our lives. From Chief Udo. We have Obas in Igbo land. Some people claiming ancestral lands are not even from the Lagos. Okay. All right. Okay. Sorry, this thing is hanging. Good evening, and to your analyst, good evening over there. Thanks so much. Esther, you know I'm a typical Yoruba man, but I must tell you something new this night. You see, we Yoruba that are very responsible really believe in Igbos people, most especially my home country, Ondo State. We so much cherish Igbos because they always make things happen anywhere they are. But by the way you say this country calling Nigeria, they can't just do without Igbos. Just believe that. Momo Ayodele. Well done. Good evening, Esther. Barrister Nzako is an erudite speaker whose analysis are always engaging, illuminating, educative. I always enjoy listening to him. Atiku and Obasanjo are birds of the same feather. They milked this country dry when they were in office. Where did Atiku get $1.2 million to engage lobbyists in US against Tinubu from Adesoji, Adekola, Ikwaja, Lagos? Even me too. I wonder. See money. What you supposed to use to do grassroots mobilization ahead of 2027. Good evening, VOPC. God is not mocked. What is your name, Mwada Chizoba? Well done. Good evening, Esther. The problem of Igbos in Nigeria is being Nigerians ahead of Nigeria. How can they say Igbos don't know how to play politics? Okay, they are in all the 774 local government areas of Nigeria. They make things happen economically and politics-wise too. In Lagos alone, we're everywhere. Yet people who have never been to Southeast, let alone invest 1 naira in the region, will tell you Igbos don't know how to play politics. What an irony. What else do you expect? The truth is that this union cannot work. It's time we renegotiate Nigeria, or to your tent or Israel. Finish. We can't continue like this. Realtor Frank Uba from Ejigbo. You guys, we're meant to preach unity. That's the only way we can sustain our country. Esther, good evening, and your guests in the house. Barrister friend Esther C. Leadership is all about transparency, accountability, honesty, having fear of God, doing to humankind, to humanity with less privilege. Not this government or Olawabao from Son of Grace. All right, Esther, good evening. And do you mean amiable, Barrister, on the phone? Esther, most times when I send my comments, you choose to ignore them because it's a pure truth. Were you not here, or did you not see that most riverine Igbos changed their names after the Civil War? Esther, did we not abandon Ojukwu for Obasanjo? Have you not seen it clearly that Igbos are much hate? What other type of politics do Nigeria want the Igbos to play? We have given them our all, yet they want our life. Esther, it will be very difficult to be one Nigeria. You keep getting it as messages and you choose to ignore it. Don Joe from Ijesha. How? I'm reading your message now. Did I ignore it? Don Joe, don't take it personal. Tons of messages are here. I pick messages at random. Enjoy your weekend, though. All right. Good evening, Esther. I think Alhaji Atiku is playing the role of an opposition by taking the fight to America, where he feels he can get some attention that will discredit the president, knowing fully well that he will never get such an attention here. Lobbying is constitutional in America. St. Francis from Agor Palace Way, Okota. Okay, God Almighty will be fighting for the Nigerian people, because those that kidnapped, loot state funds with abandoned projects and terrorists are working free, while those that protest for the betterment of Nigeria and Nigerians are the ones in prison. That's why they are forcing Nigerians to accept that things are getting better. Chairman from Agbara. Hello, VOP. According to information, these 3 accused persons that were sentenced to life imprisonment were suspects before the children were rescued. They were not arrested in the bush with the terrorists. See how they hurriedly judge and sentence without delay. That means Oyo kidnapping matter is closed. Johnson from Ogba. I don't want to say anything about this Oyo situation, but there's a problem with the truth, whereby sometimes the Nigerian military do not tell us the truth. And that's why Nigerians always suspect any narrative they give to us. Because one of the teachers came out to say they were not rescued, that they were released. And he made that statement on the national radio. Not this one, though. Okay. Good evening, Esther. Good evening to you. Please, what is the crime? Okay. Clayton Nwogo from Okoko. Esther, Barrister Fred has in his nature done justice to the subject matter, no more, no less. Please tell him we all love him. God bless you all. Tony Anele from Ijagamo. Good evening, Esther. You know what? I like the way the barrister spoke, and it's easy when most of your analysts who are from Eastern Extraction speak. But the surprising part is that we all hear them when they speak to... Is it shift the narrative of their tribesmen? It was on your station that Darlington said he's supporting Obi because he's his brother. So if a supposed analyst does that, what do you expect others like us to do too? Everybody support their own and nobody should complain. All right. Nigeria go better, but nobody should fool anybody with psychological hypnosis to cut support. Thanks. Tunji from Kano is solo. Tunji, nobody is stopping you from supporting anybody. Nobody says you should not support the president. I don't know why you guys keep having that narrative. I don't know why you guys support. And anybody who calls here to complain about people supporting the president, I always shut them down. Because you're free to support whom you want to support. You may not benefit from the government, but you believe in the person. Why not? Why support? But we're saying that play politics the right way it's supposed to be. We shouldn't be disunited in this process. That's all. Support whom you want to, but you shouldn't. I mean, the way we do when Nigeria, if Nigeria was participating in the World Cup now, would you say, Lukman that is representing us in the World Cup is because it's from Nigeria, from Yoruba land, you will not now support the Super Eagles team? No, now you see every one of us at our very best. I remember the time Nigerians collectively decided to deal with these South Africans, like regardless of wherever. These are beautiful moments. Why can't we have that in politics? Support your candidates, but I mean, outside, do your thing, mingle, do your business, have fun, enjoy. That's life. You know, that's how life should be. Nobody should agree. I mean, where people agree that there's a problem, it means that they're under hypnosis or somebody don't do juju. Why would everybody agree to one thing? For what? No, it's not normal at all. But then let there be that synchronization. Let there be humanity in the process. That acidic hate it should not. It should not. Is wrong. All right, Barrister Fred Nzakon, VP family. Thank you. Before the war, Igbos. Okay, I think I've read this particular message. Okay, let me take one more call or two thereabouts. We'll wrap up the conversation. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir. Welcome. How are you?
I'm good. I'm fine.
Welcome, sir. What's your name? Is this Prosper?
Yeah. Exactly. I'm the one.
Prosper, welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much. Easy. I keep on telling my fellow Nigerian, especially my people, my tribe, Yoruba. You see, Yoruba are confused people. I'm telling you the
No, sir, don't generalize, please. Sir, don't, Mr. Prosper, don't generalize.
Let me talk, please. I'm just telling you the truth. This is not a generalized matter. Look at the guy that called now. I think the second to the last caller. Look at the explanation. Look at the narration. See, let me tell you the truth. They are confused. I'm telling you. See, I keep on telling people, even in my street, I have 2 Facebook accounts on on Facebook. They block the 2 because I expose their secret, their hidden dirtiness. And you know what they call me? They call me Omale, and Omale means bastard. You understand what I'm saying?
Wow.
So when they see me, they say, you are more Yoruba, you a Yoruba person. You're a bastard. You are this. I say, you see, I would rather be a bastard than to be a psychophant like you people. Some of them, they have cooked that hatred. Even their forefathers have cooked the hatred in their heart. And they keep on boiling, warming it for their children. I used to tell them that this thing that they are warming, their children will inherit, they will eat it. And that is the truth. We have to say the truth, and we have to tell ourselves the fact. See, let me tell you, there is nothing Tinubu can offer Nigeria. There is nothing. Even if they allow him and God grant him another 100 years to live, he has nothing to offer. He only comes to kill, steal, and destroy. Jesus. He doesn't have a good agenda for Nigeria. That's what I'm telling you. See, like I told you, I'm from Ondo State. Go and see what is happening in Ondo State. Go and see it. See what is happening in Oyo State. See what is happening in Ogun State. Yoruba people, they are psychophants. They will not tell the truth. They all knew what is happening. Tinubu is a failure. The definition of his name is failure. See, I've told all my family, I told them that none of them should vote for him. If any of them, if I hear that you are supporting Tinubu, you are no longer my relative. I'm telling you the gospel truth. We have to be clear. This thing is very, very obvious. The whole world is seeing it. Why are we covering something that is not good? Why is Nigeria doing like this? Why are they doing like this? I don't understand. See, let us tell ourselves the truth. What is not good is not good. It doesn't have to name.
Mr. Prosper, it's not all the Yorubas, please. I beg you in the name of God. I know what I'm telling you.
Maybe I'm a Yoruba person now.
I know.
I'm also a Yoruba person.
But it's not all of them.
So I'm not supporting. But look at the people that are calling. Look at their statement. It's too obvious. Let's be realistic. This thing is too obvious. It's common. I said in my street, I met young guys, the range of 35, 30 years of age. If you see what they are talking, Igbos are betrayal. I say, what have they done for you? Like me now, I'm into building. I'm a civil engineer. I work with them. They are good. They are kind. And, they are the people that I work most. You understand? And many of those youth that are also saying all those things, they also benefit from them because they are the one giving their work. I don't know the reason why we just categorize, okay, look at the government of Tinubu, from the security to economy to everything. Who are there? Which people are there? Let us see Nigeria. We need to tell ourselves the truth. Please, let's stop deceiving ourselves. You are suffering, yet you are. That's why I call the happy slave. You can't be maltreating me, and I will be clapping for you. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any sense. It's a common sense, just common sense. We have to tell ourselves the truth. Please, Nigeria should wake up. Or if they like, let them allow the Mr. Ruler, Mr. Destruction, Mr. whatever he call himself. Don't see him as president. It's not my own president. So that's it. God bless Nigeria.
Yes,
God will rescue
Nigeria,
everyone from the hand of the destroyer in the name of Jesus Christ. Thank you very much. God bless you. You are doing a very wonderful work.
Well done,
Yeah,
sir.
thank you.
Good night. Please, let's just say that maybe it's the supporters who have decided to infuse ethnicity in this whole thing, and that's why I said this politics should not become acidic. The message is being sent, and it's wrong. You could implode the very country you claim to protect. That's why I said if we're doing this politics, fine. You have your own interest. You're supporting the government of the day, good. You're supporting opposition, good. You guys discuss, why do you expect me to support this person? You can have conversations, and at the end of the day, you can have your differences. Despite the arguments presented, you can still say, I still support President, or I believe he can do this for me. I believe he can do that for me. You say, no, I'm supporting Atiku, I'm supporting this. I believe he can do this. And then at the end of the day, una carry fufu, carry soup, chop. No bad blood. That's what I'm talking about. That's how. Okay, I don't know if you guys watched what Keir Starmer said to Madam Kemi Badenoch. I really watched their parliamentary sessions. You know, their banter a lot, and you see the way they play their politics. They actually shredded themselves. But outside that place, everybody discusses. The important thing is, the criticism is for the well-being of their nation, to adopt policies that will help their people. It's not personal. Now, when Keir Starmer was stepping down, he really gave encomiums to Kemi Badenoch, who is an opponent. He's somebody who had every day brandished him whenever they get to present themselves at the House of Commons, when they get to give themselves pointers to say, your administration is not focusing on relevant things. Why can't we have that kind of political mindset? That's just what I'm saying. Why can't we have that? You know, it's scary. I didn't believe I tweeted the tweet I tweeted today. I was like, wow, has it gotten this bad? This bad? And you're breeding something dangerous. You're breeding something dangerous in the minds of our young ones, because they're solely focused on social media. A lot of them don't read. I will not lie to you. They don't read. They don't research. And so there are deliberate mechanisms using social media to mutilate the mindset of a lot of our young persons. And spreading a hate narrative is like there's a galvanization or mobilization of hatred. And so social media, because the attention span is very short, these people just like to just watch something very short and move on. That's what is being utilized to spread all of this. So imagine a 12, 13, 14-year-old who is meant to be harnessing his potential and educationally expanding his intellect is busy breeding hate against another fellow Nigerian over what? Over a narrative. This is dangerous. You guys don't even understand what is being groomed, what is happening now. You don't even get it. It's a wrap today. I'll be seeing you on Sunday by the grace of God for the political spotlight. To have yourselves a wonderful evening. Diola is coming up next. Good night.